Hello.
Hi, guys.
We are here and doing things.
Is it us you're looking for?
It could be.
I
Uh, it is Thursday Night Live yet again, and it's going to be another interesting one because this is what was asked for. Again, before we get into things, I'm wanting to throw the disclaimer. A lot of the way that I explain this stuff is supposed to be satirical. It's old man ranting. It does come from a place of actual research, but it's supposed to be fun. Uh, the end result is always going to be the same as far as the major holidays that we understand what they are. But you guys get a very brief and glossed over history lesson about the holidays, and we get to all have a little bit of laugh, or some people walk away a little bit angry, but whatever. It's our show, and we'll do it with the fuck we want.
Woo!
Um,
We-
now, this weekend,
Announcements and shit?
yeah,
Okay, I can do them. So this weekend we are going to be at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market. That is going to be at 1165 Center Parkway here in Lexington, Kentucky.
preloaded.
But there is something really exciting. So our crystal of the week this week was selenite, and it was specifically clear selenite. Well, we partnered with Rocky Hounds, and Rocky Hounds, being the amazing individuals that they are, said that they would give away a little piece of selenite, and they've got it preloaded for everybody that goes to the market,
Both regular and orange.
which may or may not be the crystal for next week. Oh my God.
Who would have thought, or whatever?
Who'd have thought? But this weekend, we will be at 1165 Center Parkway, Lexington, and so will a couple of our other friends. I know there's a lot of other stuff going on too, so if you feel like popping by, rock out. We'll be there all day. Hey, Shelly. Hey, April.
Going to be 11 to 5 both days.
Yes. And then next week is some fun stuff, because next week is Tarot Night.
It sure is. For those of you that are new to Tarot Night or new to spirit mechanics as a whole, we do pay attention. We got a handful of you that are brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Tarot Night happens every last Thursday of each month, and it's free. You don't have to pay anything. You can come and get on the list, and we will make sure that you get your card reading. If you do donate to the team or send stars, whichever, you are then bumped to the top of the list because technically you are a paying customer at that particular point. But that's the only real caveat.
The one exception is Miss Jenny Tubb, because she was the winner of our charity auction giveaway to be at the very top of the list every single month. So if she pops in, she gets first dibs, and then we go back to the star rankings. And then anybody else who wanted a reading after that. So that is Thursday of next week. Next Saturday and Sunday, we are actually going to be in Ohio.
Oh my God. Willingly, even.
I wouldn't say that.
Hey, look, it's for the girls' event.
Yes. And we're going to see a lot of awesome people there. We're going to be in Eastgate. So I'm laughing because I just saw April's comment. You mean April get a new God night?
Look, you still haven't figured out who your new muse is. I'm not going to be raw and give you yet another one until you get that one figured out.
And if you're curious what we're talking about, you can either check out last Tarot Night Live on our YouTube. I think it'll be momentarily up on Facebook for a couple more days because Facebook deletes them after 30 days. So,
yep.
But next weekend, we are going to be at the Holiday Inn in Eastgate, Ohio for Sacred Journey. That is put on by Triple Goddess Gifts, aka Mimi and Missy. They are awesome, and it's going to be a really awesome event.
It's the light market this go.
It is.
And the hours have shifted.
I'm actually really excited for these hours because Saturday is 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. and they're actually doing a tarot bingo. I believe that's a separate purchase to get in to the tarot bingo, but it's actually really cool.
I can't remember what the pricing is for that. You can go to sacredjourneymarket.com or find them here on Facebook and get the details there. They have them all. We are also doing a seminar on Saturday about familiars. So if you guys are interested in that, talking to your animal friends or other esoteric peoples or whatever. You can come and
Get familiar.
with your familiars.
That's the name of the seminar.
It sure is.
So,
We are also going to have some new and some old faces at the booth. Come by, say hi to them, get your handshake, your hug.
you high five. They're
They're
all free.
all free.
And we'll have some other exciting things going on. Plus, you may see a couple of pretty awesome people. So we're really looking forward to it. Sunday, the hours are 11 to 5. Hey, Miss Della. And we will be in Eastgate next weekend. So
Yeah.
looking forward to that. Then the first week following that, so the 30th through the 4th, Steve is out of the office.
Yeah. Through the 5th.
Through the 5th. We are doing through the 5th?
Yeah.
Through the 5th.
Through the 5th. So I will be taking time because that is what is requested of me by everybody, including my body. And I think it's needed for a number of reasons. Spirit mechanics, you guys are literally my full-time everything. So I do need a little bit of time to recharge and take care of myself, which calling it what it is, those of you that have been keeping up with spirit mechanics, especially over the last several months, you know that my health hasn't been awesome. So I am actually going to take some time to get some legitimate rest, and I'll be back the second week of April. That doesn't mean that you can't get a hold of us. There's going to be, plenty of people that can take your calls, they can take your messages, that can, of course, give readings or counsel. We'll still be taking care of you.
Mm-hmm.
It just won't be me for a week.
Yep. So then following on the next weekend, so the 11th of April, we are actually going to be hosting the first paranormal class of the year. Missy and Mandy are actually teaching it, and it'll be their first go, so it should be a lot of fun. We'll be at the Roz Opera House, and $60 to get in. It gets you into the class and then to investigate afterwards.
Yep. Always remember with the paranormal investigation class, your admission to the actual haunted location is included in your admission to the class. So you pay for it all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So letting you guys know that now, because prices may vary depending on where it is that we wind up getting things set up for you guys.
Yeah.
But the Roz is Bunny Hill. We've used it literally multiple times, and you're always guaranteed some decent stuff there. So
yeah. And then following that weekend is going to be which is the third weekend of April. Let me take a look at those dates. Hey, Deb.
Should be the 18th and 19th.
Yes. So the 18th and 19th of April, we'll be back at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market. Same place we're going to be this weekend.
You come see us.
Yeah.
You come see Deb. Get you a piece of selenite.
Yeah. So I think that covers us for now.
Also, this is Grundle. He is my child, and I love him.
Yes.
And if you guys have been paying attention to the page or have been catching the algorithm a little bit, he's got his own post now. So it's Wednesdays with Grundle. A little bit of some uplifting stuff with him and some pictures of him rolling around with us. And, I thought it'd be fun. It was her idea. So
I think it's worked out well. Everybody needs a little bit of Grundle.
Everybody needs a little bit of Grundle. Everybody should grab a hold of some Grundle. So
we have a ticker.
We do. And we have Gimp Bear in the corner.
We do. He's got his hat on.
He does.
So you can catch quite a few fun things both at the booth this weekend and next weekend.
Grundle will be there at both events.
And Grundle will also be at the Roz on the 11th.
Yep. That'll be his debut as what he's being primed for. So I think that's going to be some fun stuff.
I think so too. So there is a couple of things that go on between now and then, though. If I remember correctly, it's the topic tonight. Ostara and Easter?
Esther and Ostricha. Yeah. So
Actually, before we get into this, first and foremost, this was requested. This is requested for every holiday.
you guys did this to me. You get to suffer through the live it created.
I will not be showing the comments on the stream, but we will go through them at some point during the live. Usually it's after Steve finishes his explanation. So if it takes me a minute to get to your comment, that is why.
Also, if we don't bring your comment up, there is a reason why we don't bring your comment up.
Love y'all. You're hilarious.
We may have a ticker, however, we can still be flagged. So
if this is your first live that you're watching, Godspeed, God love you, because we fucking do. And welcome. If it's not, welcome back, fuckers. We love you.
Absolutely.
Because we have some new faces.
We do.
And I want to be sure to expressly say, we are serious on occasion for some lives when we need to be, and we take what we do very seriously. We just don't take ourselves seriously, especially when the commentary is what we're talking about tonight.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. If you guys thought that Chaucer was the main, hilarity of of literally any form as I roll up my sleeves,
or Podrick,
or Podrick, his name.
Even April, you say till Dad gets here. True.
So
I'm just gonna sit back.
But if you think that Podrick or Chaucer were hilarious, because I think I'm finally getting that stroke that I've been praying for the last 40 years.
It's because you said that you were taking a week off.
It is. It's going to make sure that I do. So we've got a very interesting story. So the reason why, filling some people in who haven't caught these holiday posts, the reason why these have been requested by the community, you guys did this
repeatedly.
The reason why they have been requested is usually there is a clear dividing line between the religious and the pagan, and who gets the holiday, who it actually belongs to. And what everybody has found out is they should stop doing that.
It's commercialism.
Because everybody has lost what it is that it originally was, completely missed the fucking mark, gone off the rails, off reservation, whatever you want to say. And you're fighting over literally nothing but an idea. So this is no different. It's actually even more hilarious. So we're gonna get into hiding eggs for Jesus here in just a second. I'm getting into character, but please understand, even though, and I'm throwing these disclaimers, one is a CYA covering our ass, but two, so that you understand, this is meant to be in fun. It's satirical, but
also oddly factually hilarious.
It is rooted in actual research. I do actually spend 2-3 hours actually combing over things so that I understand enough to be able to give you guys accurate history.
Yeah.
But
this one's so fucked.
But the big thing to remember is we all lose because, the economy and capitalism won out as opposed to actual values and religious norms. So starting off, right? Because this one is interesting because both sides are wrong. Because both sides bastardized exactly what they shouldn't have. it started out as an ancient situation. It was literally both Easter and Ostara started out as traditional just fertility feasts. That's all it was. It was observed by the church at one particular point in time. It was literally right after the supposed death of Jesus, around 30 AD. And at this particular point, they decided, okay, well, we need a centralized day to celebrate Christianity. We need to celebrate our patron warlock and, do the thing. Come on. He is a man that worships an eldritch god that gives him power to do miracles. He's a fucking warlock. Anyway, we get to this point, and what had happened was they found out that there were all these tiny little cultures that hadn't been sucked up by the Roman regime that actually gave thanks to the land. It wasn't considered paganism. It wasn't considered some kind of off branch of Druidism. It was literally a bunch of people that were like, cool, it's springtime, let's party. And the church goes, you know what? That's kind of cool. However, we can't have it during their particular equinox festivals. So what we're going to do is right after the vernal equinox, just as soon as the next full moon is over, so that there's plenty of time, we're going to call that our day. So we're going to claim that that is Easter. Now, hilariously enough, Easter was not even a name that was given at that particular time. It was literally a situation where it was adopted later on in the 300s after connection with the writings of Bede, who was a Gregorian monk. The reason why it got the name Easter is it actually comes from the fertility goddess, Yoster. Actually, that is the pronunciation. It's Yoster. And it was interesting at that particular point because then, the Romans basically went, cool, we're not going to use the Germanic. We're going to do our own thing. And Easter was adopted. Now, that means, guess what, pagans? The church did it first this go.
Oh, no.
How about that funny shit? Because most of the time, that's the big argument. Okay, well, pagans did it first. It's almost like, South Park having to catch up to the Simpsons. Well, the Simpsons did it. Well, this time, y'all got beat to the punch. So, literally, yes, it could be stated that all these random acts of celebration during those particular months, it could be stated that because all of these tribesmen were out and about and doing their thing, that it was a pagan festival. It would have been that had it had anything to do with worship of specific gods. It had nothing to do with any kind of spirituality other than the fact that the earth was cool and nature was doing them a service. So it was not appropriation by the church. It was literally just a bastardization of what they took from the culture around them. By the way, you pagans aren't off the hook because you're about to do that. So
I'm so glad Jake's in the comments.
So now, oh yeah, we're about there. So now we have this particular established holiday. It is Easter or whatever. So we're rolling through, we're going through it. Of course, at that time, yes, uh, Easter egg hunts were a thing. It had nothing to do with hiding eggs from Jesus. It had nothing to do with, you know, what it currently has anything to do with. It was literally a game. That is what it was. The Easter egg hunts were a game. It was something fun to do during these festivals. The next big thing is, hares. So the actual animal, a hare.
Fun rabs.
Yep. Not, not to be mistaken for bun rabs, because technically they're different, apparently, even though they're both fucking rabbits. So, uh, but hares at the time were seen as a sign of fertility. They were seen as a sign of, growth and new life. So the church, we're still in the church. So the church goes, that's cool. So what we're going to do is we're still going to do the egg hunt, but the eggs are actually going to stand for something at this point. We're going to take the heathens, as in the unwashed masses, not pagan. We're going to take the heathen understanding and uh, go. The egg represents the empty tomb that Jesus rose from. The egg is the rebirth and resurrection in one small package.
Y'all like stretching?
Oh, oh man.
Just fucking wait.
Oh man. So all this is going on, right? Now, in a parallel, right? This is happening adjacent to. This is the reason why I was like, pagans, you're not off the fucking hook. This is happening adjacent to. So the pagans go, well, I suppose since we need to be a little bit more fuck you Christian, what we're going to do is we're going to do our own thing now. So we were already doing that and could have left well enough alone, but spite and bitterness tell us that we need to do something else to be uproarious assholes. Bastardize our own culture just to get back at people that honestly didn't give a fuck about us. So they decide to do the thing. And they're like, okay, we're going to start dedicating actual ritual festivals to Yoster. Now, flash forward. Here's my favorite part. This is my favorite part. Jake, you're going to love this. This is my favorite part because just like the last two holidays, but specifically Valentine's Day, it was an author talking out of his ass that made it what it is today. So, we have the understanding of the Bible, which is literal philosophy on how men and women should act in life, as opposed to what a lot of people see it as. So it's a story about a magician, a magical person, a child of God, multiple people banding together to stop tyranny and oppression in the world because, they're actual practitioners that give a fuck about people, but, it's blown out of proportion. Fast forward to 1835. This is the part that I find the most fucking hilarious out of the entire bit. Ostara, what most pagans and Wiccans go is an ancient holiday, didn't even exist until 1835. It was not a thing, y'all, until 1835, till the Victorian age. So, Jacob Grimm, yes, that Grimm, literally one of the brothers Grimm, who wrote fairy tales. He wrote fairy tales, keeping that in mind. Jacob Grimm theorized. He didn't even say that this was literally a thing. He theorized and then impressed upon his writing that all of the writings of Bede on Yoster could actually be translated into 100% modern understanding as a goddess Ostara. By the way, here's the next big thing. At the time, Yoster and Ostara were two different goddesses. So, Yoster had everything to do with the fertilization of the land, Mother Nature, spring coming. She was basically Fae incarnate. Awesome. Ostara was the dawn bringer and the goddess of light. Jacob Grimm literally renamed a goddess in his writings, equated it to Germanic practice, and then officially claimed that it could be seen as a holiday for pagans at that particular point in time. You had a fictional writer who wrote fairy tales for a living literally change a goddess's name, create a holiday for her, and all in the sake of story. And it was adopted as a Wiccan holiday shortly thereafter. Y'all literally Harry Pottered Easter. Not to say that the Christians didn't, because the Christians Harry Pottered Easter as well.
Could you please elaborate on what Harry Potter is?
You're a wizard, Jesus. Go out there with your buddies and stop Voldemort, Satan from doing the thing. And then turn around. Check it out. There's a goddess. It could be, I don't know, Dumbledore. Look at that. It is a godlike figure that controls life and death and brings light to dark situations. Let's follow them because they know how the fuck shit works. And let's create a cult to them. A school. And, at that particular point, we can learn how to properly wave sticks around in the forest. So, both sides literally Harry Pottered what was actually just an ancient hangout. It's amazing. Due to Jacob Grimm's involvement in translating for himself, it wasn't even for the populace, it was for himself. It was his own theory. But because he took the writings of the Gregorian Bede and went, it could also be this. Maybe the two of these things that are not the same could be. We have a holiday on the Wiccan wheel.
That was actually started by Christians first.
Yep, it was. Easter existed long before Ostara was a thing. Ostara is even labeled a modern Wiccan holiday, by the way. If for anybody that tells you it's an ancient ritualistic holiday, they either A, are lying out their ass, or B, don't know enough to lie about that shit in the first place. It's one of, if not the most modern in the Wiccan calendar. So, yes, a fairy tale is what created, and some people may say that a fairy tale is what created the Bible. Either way, at this particular point, the Venn diagram is real. You have Easter, you have Ostara, you have the fucked people in the middle, which were the Jewish. This is the part that's actually kind of tragic in this entire situation. Both sides, both Christian and pagan slash Wiccan belief, adopted Passover into what it is that they do without actually respecting the Jewish community and the faith while doing it. So the Jewish, shocker upon shocks, actually stuck to what it is that they fucking said they would do, worship the way that they do, held the same things and traditions that they have for fucking centuries still. Passover is still a thing. It is still considered a week of great fasting and great forgiveness and great religious uh, focus and reflection and togetherness and fellowship. It's an amazing situation. Neither the Christians or the pagans gave a fuck about that. They went, you know what, cool. The Jewish are doing something neat. We can adopt that too. So, actually, for all your appropriation talk, it wasn't the Christians that appropriated anything. It was both the Christians and the pagans that appropriated Jewish holiday. Way to be hypocrites. So, it gets better.
Is this the part where you talk about the bunnies that shit out eggs?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So now, you know, we have a bastardized people who literally also inadvertently bastardized another people with two separate sides, spirituality and religious belief, bastardizing all of them. And a fairy tale author going, you know what? We could just call it this. And then flash forward to modern times where no one gives a fuck about any of it. Easter is now one of the biggest economic holidays for most Christian countries, or even pagans for that matter, um, that there is. It's literally one of the biggest holidays of the entire year, financially for most stores, even for Amish or any or you know, bartering systems, because eggs and rabbits are still needed. Um, it's amazing because at this particular point, when you go and you get your candied egg, or you get your hollow egg and you fill it with a piece of candy, or you dye an egg, it's to go have fun with kids, get them out of the house for a little bit, and, you know, let them have a little bit of fun. Easter is about the candy. It's about the basket. It's about the stuffed animal. It's about the toy. It's not about anything else other than that, is it? Not usually, not for most people. Some people who are watching this are probably going, he's a fucking asshole. Yes, I am. But if you do practice any of the older traditions and you're still trying to keep any of these holidays alive, God bless you. And I do mean that. Good on you. But calling it what it is, 90% of the waking world didn't know half of this half brained, half cocked shit until people like me bitch about it on the internet. So now, here's the beauty. And I love this because of the irony. So you have, as far as history is concerned, you have people that were just cool with nature going, you know what? Thank you for allowing us to live through another winter, to The Christians going, well, we need something to anchor us and have a single unified day. Constantine did that, by the way.
Not the DC guy.
No, the Caesar. Emperor Constantine did that, by the way. And he's like, well, Roman Christianity, we need something to do the thing on. So we're not going to completely, take over their particular time. We're going to let them have it, which is something that is also hilarious and a lot of people fucking leave out. He goes, we're going to let them have their time. They do their shit usually around the vernal equinox. We're going to wait a full week or so afterward, and we're going to have that Sunday. It's literally the Sunday after the first full moon of the vernal equinox. That's why the date varies from year to year. So even then, Christianity never took it from anybody. They never did. But they went cool. We're going to, actually do something similar, only we're going to do it for Jesus. Horns up. So we're going to party and we're going to do the thing, have our particular feast, but it's going to be on that day as opposed to their time. And then you have, Bede coming in and he's like, well, we can call it this based off of, writings off of cave wall scrolls, random books and parchments that we've been able to piece and part together over the fucking years. And, we're going to take their name for this goddess of Yoster and, we can actually equate it to this and this and this, and this is what she was for. And, the powers that be went, cool, we're going to call it Easter because, we're not going to call it Yoster. And then it's good to go. We have the fucking quote unquote, because I know there's going to be a lot of people who get all pissy at me, quote unquote pagan, even though it had nothing to do with paganism at the time, quote unquote pagans doing their shit during the vernal equinox. By the way, it didn't have its name of Ostara at this point. And then Easter, which happened, somewhere between, a few days to a few weeks away. It was a completely separate fucking thing. We go from that to the Victorian age of Mr. Jacob Grimm, who actually literally goes, you know what? I'm going to pose a theory. What if this understanding of that goddess and this understanding of that goddess scissored until they disappeared and became one? And people just took off with it. And literally at that particular point, because of a fairy tale author, we now have the name of Ostara, and it was adopted into the Wiccan calendar shortly thereafter. For those that need the actual year, even the emergence of the name of Ostara was not until 1835 AD. It is not an ancient culture custom. It is literally a modern day situation. You literally St. Patty's Easter.
Which is like the fucking theme, guys.
It is. But it's okay because no one needs to blame anybody. It's all been lost in commercialism and, who can buy the biggest chocolate rabbit, or, who can sell the largest stuffed bunny, or who can, burn up a bunch of peeps in the microwave. That was my favorite thing to do during Easter. So, long story short, all holidays pretty much lose out to the great green dollar. And here we are yet again with everybody pissed off because I'm like, well, y'all fucked it up.
Hold on, Jake. I will get to your question momentarily. Because the question posed was, but where do the birds fucking come into play?
Well, you see, that's where the eggs actually come from.
Shit you not.
That's where the eggs actually come from. Not from rabbits. I have to ruin that for everybody. There's not a magical rabbit that jumps around from house to house and, power plops a whole fucking litter of eggs on your porch every Easter. That just doesn't happen. He doesn't Santa Claus you some, premature cluck clucks. What happens is birds lay those eggs, and they're usually found in nests or at grocery stores, and that's how we get them. But as far as birds fucking, uh, I'm sure there's plenty of birds that fuck this time of year. I would like to find some romanticism inside this particular clusterfuck that is Ostara and Easter, but I can't. I can't on this one. No, it was fairy tales. So, what makes this really hilarious, and I'm going to mic drop with this, what makes this really hilarious is everybody forgetting about Jewish Passover, and even though they indoctrinated into both Christian practice and pagan practice, guess who you pay for every bit of that commercialized bullshit that you eat and you buy into every year? Jewish companies. You pay for their Passover dinner. I find that absolutely fucking fantastic. Um, so on this one, they win.
Yay!
Like, hey, look at that. It's the only y'all. This is setting a precedent. It's the only holiday that actually does belong to somebody, if only by fucking who holds enough money to buy it.
I feel like St. Patty's Day was like that.
Technically,
So we're 2 for 2 this month. Like, that's a fucking win.
is it?
No.
It's kind of fucking depressing.
Do you want me to get to these comments?
I'm my feelings are kind of hurt at this point. Like, they're getting worse. The holidays are getting worse. I thought it was going to be hilarious doing, Halloween and its roots, and no, it's gotten worse. Like, this is probably the most heinous month of these that I've done, and I doing the research for some of these has been absolutely horrendous. Um, but again, hopefully you guys had a little bit of fun with my old man ranting. Uh, in all honesty, it did come from a place of truth. It did. I did actually do the research. Did look this shit up. So yes, there are nuances that were left out. I gave you guys the bullet points. But regardless of what it is that you actually practice or what it is that you actually subscribe to, have fun during these times. You don't have to be asses to each other. If someone wants to celebrate Easter, let them. If someone wants to celebrate Passover, let them. Someone wants to, celebrate Ostara, fucking let them. You don't have to be an ass just because someone else is doing something in their own life. Be cool to each other.
Yeah.
Comments.
So, April said, wait, you're telling me it's not about a magic bunny pooping chocolate eggs?
No.
Jake said, Easter was chosen because Zombie Carpenter Day didn't work well in focus groups.
That's amazing.
April came back with, or Happy Bunny Poop Day. In all caps, she was like, finally, we stole a holiday. True. Fucking did. If Easter eggs are bunny poop, what are jelly beans? It's a fertility holiday. You really want to know?
Jelly beans are just kidney beans after the infection is over. I mean, if you have a magic rabbit that shits chocolate, it's totally going to be pissing out fucking kidney stones. So, think about that the next time you have a mouthful of fucking jelly beans. It's the reason why they're hard on the outside. Anyway.
Jake responded back to April and said, "You bet your ass I want to know." And April responded back and said, "I'm going to go with boy bunny stuff. Never eating jelly beans again." And so this is when you started talking about the egg hunts. Jake said, "Well, what were they gonna do? Spread strawberry jelly on the ground and say, 'Come on, kids, let's look for Jesus'?" You'll eat jelly beans again, especially if if they are the Harry Potter jelly beans. Those are yummy. This was before you dropped Harry Potter. But Jake was like, "I'm listening. What did Stephen King say?" April said his favorite part means we're in trouble. Jake said, "Unless some jerky tell the good ones first." You may be in trouble. I'm just gonna nod and say, "Yeah, that makes sense." April was like, "I'm always in trouble. Haven't you noticed?" I'm like, "Oh shit." Renee goes, "Another light bringer." Yep. 100%. So he was Ron Hubbard before Hubbard was a thing.
Essentially. Essentially.
Does Satan have a nose? He might have a pet snake. At this point, any rant Stickman has about holidays can be summed up into one sentence. It's about fucking ... and pagans did it first. And somehow birds are involved. Deb said, "I just like to believe Jesus was a zombie." Jake said, "I'll say it, a fairy tale created the Bible, a poorly written fairy tale." April said, "I could see Jesus coming out of the rocks like brains." And Lazarus also is a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
The only zombie that didn't scare the shit out of everybody, pretty much. Hi, Pam.
Just randomly. All these heinous comments. And then just hi, Pam.
Hi, Pam. Jake said, "Hypocrites in Catholicism, get out." It's a horrible time for rescues who end up with a shit ton of baby bunnies, too. Very true, because people want the chickens and the little chicks and the baby bunnies for like 2 days. And then they're like, "Oh, shit, it's a fucking, it's work."
Yup.
I thought it was going to be simple. No,
you're taking care of another life.
Yeah. And in response to you saying that you were an asshole, Jake said, "Well, of course you are. That's why we're friends." Yes. And DC guy is cool. He smokes. Constantine.
Yep.
He's cool. And that's why we trade beads for boobs 40 days beforehand. We've got a ticker.
We do. It's right there.
Starro, the DC Comics villain.
That'd be great.
Now, that is a curious thing.
What's that?
If that has any loop to it, that'd be kind of fucking hilarious.
It does not.
Oh, damn. I got excited.
On that one, no, it does
not. What about Snoopy?
Starro is literally a galactic starfish. No joke. He is an eldritch being that is a starfish with a single eye. Yeah. Anyway.
What about Snoopy?
Snoopy is an eldritch being.
I mean?
At least that's my headcanon.
Shit. Don't you take my chocolate shitting bunny.
Oh, I didn't take it. You can have it for, about $5.99 a piece.
Cadbury? Is Cadbury run by? I think so, actually.
I'm trying to remember.
Me too. We'll investigate.
Actually. Just because that'll actually be a little fun. I just got really just down in my feels over that shit because I got to really thinking about the history of these holidays, and I'm like, oh no. And there's more that you guys want me to look up after this. I'm going, oh no.
Wait till he blows the lid off of Arbor Day.
I am not doing Arbor Day.
You sure?
Yeah, because that's an arbitrary kind of holiday.
So no Flag Day?
No,
Oh, damn.
no.
Cinco de Mayo?
I have to because it was literally a thing.
It was requested. So was Memorial Day because that's Jake's birthday.
Okay.
It'd be cool to your school. He was the villain in the Suicide Squad? Was he?
He was.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
The giant eldritch starfish.
Yeah.
Takes tentacles. Never mind.
Yeah, he's got those too.
No, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
I bet.
Yep. That joke was also made in the movie.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep, sure was.
Bravo, DC. You tried. Jake said trees have birds in them. Yes, they fucking do.
Birds aren't real.
Motherfucker.
Birds aren't real. They're a figment of Chaucer's imagination.
Motherfucker. I just need a second. We're at the end of the comments. But hopefully you guys learned a little bit. Hopefully you had a little bit of fun. Next week, we are going to be going over tarot cards and shit. So join us for Tarot Night Live if you want a reading. Rock out. Join us. And we don't have cookies over here, but you know.
We might have booze.
We might have booze.
We might have booze.
We do have a ticker, Jake. Thank you.
See?
Shit.
Also, if you're interested, you got the time. We understand March is a big month for a lot of different events. We're going to be at the local gig, the Central Kentucky Mystical Market, all weekend. It's 11 to 5 both days. 1165 Center Parkway in Lexington, Kentucky. We'll be there doing what we do, energy work, flipping cards, giving some counsel, teaching people about their gifts, so on and so forth. You can come out and see us. We don't have a ticker there, so it is 100% uncensored.
Yeah. We do need punch and pie. Jake suggested we have punch and pie.
We do need punch and pie. I'm not paying for that.
Maybe.
We might have punch and pie.
We might have punch and pie.
We might.
Probably not this weekend, though.
It'll actually, if we have punch and pie,
it'll be at Sacred Journey if we have punch and pie,
which is next weekend.
Yeah.
That's going to be at the Holiday Inn and Suites in Eastgate, Cincinnati. Saturday, it's going to be 1 to 8. So 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Sunday, it's going to be 11 to 5. We're going to have some special guests. At 5 p.m. on Saturday, we'll also be doing a seminar on familiars.
Getting familiar.
With your familiars.
Fuck. And then after that following week, Steve is going to be out of the office. And then on the 11th, we'll have the paranormal class. So we have a lot going on, guys, and we're really excited for y'all to be a part of it. So.
Also, this is Grundle. He is my child, and I love him.
Get Bear's in the corner where he belongs.
He is. Hopefully, you guys have been digging the posts with Grundle. We're going to continue to do them because, they're fun. And if you guys would like to see Grundle, get your picture with Grundle, hang out with Grundle, you can come see us at these events, and, he'll be there too.
Might send you a message, Jake. So, for tonight, though, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Remember that those that have the power to change themselves have the power to change the world around themselves. We love you guys.